All right, let me push live. Scooter, you ain't in there, are you? No, you're not in there. Let me push. Yo, what up, good people? Hi, haters. Man, I want to thank everybody for coming over to my YouTube channel, King Kendrick Wilson. Y'all know what it is. Yes, I was on Breonna Taylor's legal team. Yes, I'm the guy that's been fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor for over a year now. And I got a lot to say, and the world needs to hear what I got to say. But I just want to thank Team Fire Emoji. I see y'all all in the building, man. This is so beautiful. There's a reason why I waited as long as I did to come over to YouTube, because I wanted to let people know that for me, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about none of that stuff. It was simply about justice. And unfortunately, a lot of people on YouTube, they're just here to get monetized. They're here to make money. They're here to spread misinformation. I wanted to separate myself from those people, so I stuck to my personal Facebook page. It's my Kendrick L. Wilson Facebook and my Lamar Wilson Facebook, and I spread the truth without making any money off any of this stuff, or taking content and turning it into a show. But now it's time. It's time that I come over to YouTube. If my YouTube takes off and I start receiving checks for it, then I'm perfectly fine with that. I know I'm deserving. I see a lot of people that's made millions off this situation, and these people, they was never in it for justice. They was in it for clout. I see people like Tamika D. Mallory, who got invites to the Grammys, but at the end of the day, she did absolutely nothing for Breonna Taylor in her case as far as getting justice. I see people like Benjamin Crump, who's not good at being an attorney. They're good at simply robbing people and getting people to settle for money instead of actually getting justice and money. I've seen a lot of people benefit off this situation come up. I've seen people go from no names to half celebrities. I've seen people take a camera and turn it into an LLC just from their camera phone. Now they're a full-fledged LLC. And at the end of the day, it's my time. It's my time to take my real material, my facts, my truth, and I get it out to the world. And whatever comes with that, comes with that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with making money off the situation now. I'm okay with people hating or doing whatever they're going to do. People attack me. I'm okay with everything now. At the end of the day, the one thing that I'm not okay with is trying my best to get this material out to the world. So at the end of the day, I did everything I can do locally within my city, Louisville, Kentucky. I was on my Facebook for a year straight. I don't think there's nobody in the world who has more hours logged than me when it comes to talking about Breonna and breaking down the case. But also, I have a story to tell, my own story. I have a lot of stuff that I can bring before the internet and YouTube, and I'm going to do that. But I need y'all to know I'm officially starting over. So this process is going to be a little bit slow, but I'm going to do it to where people who don't know me and people who are not from Louisville can hop on board, and then they can catch up. So I'm going to be walking my way through this. Today's show, I'm going to talk about what is Black Power. I'm not a person that has notes or anything crazy like that. I'm not a person that is going to read from a teleprompter or anything like that. I'm just going to talk. I like to talk to the people. And my question for the day is, before we jump into the Breonna Taylor case, before we jump into my stuff, and before I start these shows that's going to be filled with mind-blowing evidence, and it's going to be packed with a lot of video footage, raw footage, body cam footage, all types of footage, and receipts, statements, phone recordings. I have all of that stuff. But before I jump into that, I want to first establish, what is Black Power? That is my question. Has it ever crossed your mind? Like, what exactly is Black Power? And what are the results of Black Power? Does the results of Black Power look like what we as Black people are facing today in the world? The results of Black Power, does it look like oppression? Does it look like Black people killing each other? What exactly is Black Power? And do you know of anyone personally on TV, in your neighborhood, in your family, that is utilizing their Black Power and they're using it correctly? Because at the end of the day, as I look at the TV, as I look at families, my family, your family, different families all around the world, I look at people and I ask myself, are they utilizing their Black Power? And even myself, I had to ask myself, am I utilizing my Black Power? And at the end of the day, I know that we can do better as a culture. I know that the results of Black Power does not look like what we have right now. Reality is, us Black people, we're in a very, very, very sad situation in today's world. It's not about race, but it is about race when it comes to the results of how we're living right now. But because we're one of the most oppressed races in the world, and the results are sad and they're alarming. And for me, I want to be a person that raises awareness, and not only raise awareness, I want to be a person that steps up and attempts to do something about this. A lot of people are working on coming up with solutions to a lot of our problems that we have as a culture. But me, I'm trying to come up with preventions. And if it's already a problem, then I can come up with solutions. But I'm trying to come up with prevention. The difference between a solution and prevention is something that is put in place to prevent a problem for even being established as a problem. A solution is something that comes to fix a problem, and people need to know the difference between the two. A lot of people in this world, especially our government and the people who are in high positions of power, they're only interested in solutions because solutions often make a lot of money, but preventions often cost a lot of money. So you have to put money into the event, to the prevention, to prevent things from going down. But solutions generate money, so you don't see the government interested in prevention because prevention normally takes some money. Solutions is making money, so that's the difference. But me, I'm all for investing. I'm all for putting some money out there if it's going to help fix a problem and help prevent things. And at the end of the day, I think that's something that the world needs to get established and need to understand the difference between prevention and solutions. Um, like I said, I asked myself, what is Black Power? And the reason why I asked that question, and I wanted this to be my first show, is what is Black Power? Because it's going to help clear up some things as we move along in this Breonna Taylor case, and as we break down some of the evidence, and as we look at some of the people who are in place with this case. We see some of the key figures like Benjamin Crump, Tamika D. Mallory. We see some of these people who participated in locally, the president of the Metro Council, David James. We see Daniel Cameron, who is the Attorney General of Kentucky. These are Black people. We're going to break down, what exactly is Black Power and was it used correctly? Was it used at all? And if it was used, who benefited from it? Because I'm of the belief that Black Power is being used, but Black people are not capitalizing off the Black Power that's being used. Who is profiting and who is benefiting from Black Power? I'm of the belief that the white man of today's world, the white man, the Jewish man, and so many other, the Asian man, the Mexican man, there's a lot of different cultures that are actually benefiting off Black Power. And I don't see Black people really benefiting off Black Power at all. But I do see Black people sparking wealth. I do see Black Power sparking wealth for other cultures, generational wealth for other cultures. I see Black Power building empires all over the world for other cultures. And at the end of the day, I'm hoping I can point these things out to y'all so we can begin to claim some of the things that our power is generating. A lot of people don't understand that the rap industry, the main product is the Black man, but yet the money is not going to the Black man. People are getting nickels and dimes when it comes to that. We look at people like Jay-Z, and my hat's off to Jay-Z. Jay-Z's always been one of my role models, one of the people I look up to. I learned a lot from his music. I look at Jay-Z as like almost like a father figure, the stuff that I learned while in a foster home, while I listened to his music. But as happy as I am for Jay-Z and as much success that Jay-Z got, I realize he's been cheated. He's been shorted. Now he's made up and he's done a lot in the rap industry. He's got a lot of money, but if you ever give any if you give it any, you go beneath the surface and you give it some real thought, Jay-Z should have been a billionaire 5 years into his career. First of all, Jay-Z's rap career started in New York City. New York City is the biggest city in the world, and Jay-Z took over the streets of New York. If you just break down the math, just within 5 years of doing what he did and had the streets of New York on lock, he should have been a billionaire 5 years into the game. Not to mention that Jay-Z, his music traveled and he began to be heard in other countries, and other people and other cultures began to respect his music. He began to do business in other countries, but yet here we are, 18 years or 20 years where he just started being mentioned as a person that was going to touch $1 billion. And these are the things that I want to touch on, because we need to understand that our worth, we need to understand our power, and we need to understand also that Black Power is way more than money. Money is one of the things that we can see physically and see the results of Black Power, but at the end of the day, it's so much deeper. When you look at religion, you look at even the story of Jesus, you look at the Muslim community, you look at so many different communities, you can look into Buddhism, you can look into a lot of stuff. That's all coming from black people. And you must understand that religion is the number one thing out there in the world. Everybody in this world is somewhat connected to religion. If you don't believe, then your mom believes, or somebody in your family believes. We all know somebody that participates in religion. And at the end of the day, even that right there, religion is something that was, that is mastered by Black men. Now, what happened is we have been robbed of it, but we made religion attractive. We made it attractive. We might not utilize religion like some of these other coaches do, because I'm of the belief that a lot of other coaches, they use religion to brainwash people, to take advantage of people. But we made that attractive, and then they took that religion that we made so attractive, and now they're using it to brainwash people and to generate money and to establish these churches and temples all over the world. And at the end of the day, we're not getting nothing out of that. And at the end of the day, we are the people who actually made that stuff attractive. We made it. We made people interested in it. And that's the thing with us as Black people. We must understand that we have the power to make things attractive. We have the power to be the most seeked out culture in the world, because we are. But at the end of the day, we're not capitalizing off of it. And I just want to speak on that. I want this to be my first show because as I look around and you see like some of these militia groups, and you see people like the Black Panthers, and you hear them, they say Black Power, Black Power. But I often ask myself, do they really know what Black Power is? Have they ever utilized it? I was in conflict with with the Black Panther leader, to where we was going back and forth, and we had a phone conversation that kind of strayed into something super negative, and we had some words. But at the end of the day, as I got off the phone, I asked myself, is that Black Power? Because that's what this woman preaches all day, every day, is Black Power. That's what this woman wears on her patches and stuff, is Black Power. But at the end of the day, I had to ask myself, is that Black Power? Is that what Black Power looked like? And for me, I don't think so. I think Black Power is far more than grabbing guns, beefing with each other, shooting each other, making $1 billion. Black Power is way, way bigger than that. Black Power is everything that this world is. You must understand everything in this world, even the negative stuff. Even the negative stuff, they have used Black Power to promote negativity. That's how powerful Black Power is. And once we understand that it really is something called Black Power, and it's being used for negativity right now. It's also being used for a lot of positive things, and people are capitalizing off of it, but we're not capitalizing off of it. At the end of the day, we're a very unique, dope group of people, and we don't realize what we are anymore because of the TV, the way the TV advertises us, because of the way we are treating each other in the streets. We don't have the mannerisms and stuff no more that we need to have, and we have been molded. We are of the European mindset, and I'm not taking shots at white people or anything. I'm just going off what I've learned about history and where some of this violent and corrupt, crooked ways come from. That is European mindset. And when I say European, I don't look at European as a skin color. I look at European as a mindset. And when I heard things about like some of these wicked, evil things that went on in the world, a lot of these evil, corrupt things first started taking place in Europe. They start taking place in Europe. So that's what I tell people. We have a European mindset. People started killing their brothers and sisters over in Europe. You see Black people being advertised in today's world as the people who's killing each other's brothers and sisters. But before we did this stuff was taking place in European countries where they're taking over each other's countries and bombing each other and doing all types of stuff, raping each other's women, living a savage life. A lot of people don't understand that America was actually discovered by savages. These are people who was rejects from their country, people who was cast out of their country for whatever reason, and then they came to America. And other people was already here, but they brought that European mindset here. Not that they necessarily discovered America, because none of us will never know the answer to that. But they came to America and they posed their will on America. And these were savages. These are people who had that European mindset, and people who had been affected by the European culture. And people need to understand that it's far more than a skin color. It's far more than a skin color. But unfortunately, the Black people of today's world, we are the people who are carrying out white supremacy's agendas. Black Power is so strong that white supremacy is able to cater and get all of their missions and goals off through us. Through us. That's why I said our power has been used for negativity, and people need to understand that. And I just want to break that down, because you must understand every single Black person out there is being used and working for a white man at the end of the day, a white Jewish man, at the end of the day, some way, shape, form, or fashion. Unless you a person is actually receiving your own currency, living off your own money, at the end of the day, you're working for a white man. A lot of people, they think because they work for themselves and their own boss that they don't work for a white man. But I got news for you. Whatever job you're doing, you're receiving currency, the US dollar that has a white man on it. So therefore, at the end of the day, you're still slaving for that dollar. You might not necessarily have a white boss, but at the end of the day, you have a white currency that you are chasing. And that's where they're controlling us, because we're chasing this white currency. And they have rules and regulations that you got to go by to actually make this money and to benefit from this money and to buy houses and cars and be established with this white currency. And at the end of the day, people need to understand that just because you're your own boss and you don't work for a white person, that doesn't mean that you're not still working for white supremacy. Anybody that's chasing a dollar in some way or somehow, you're working for white supremacy. And I understand we live in a world to where we got to make money. We live in a world to where currency is a must. So we think. But at the end of the day, have you ever asked yourself, what does a village look like? What does a village look like? Just have you ever gave it any thought? What happens if we really came together as a village? What happens if we started trading each other's talents with each other, each other's services? What happens if I cut your hair and you fix my car? What happens? What would that look like? Would we need money? And would the world be a better place? Because you must understand, a lot of the violence, a lot of the corruption, a lot of evil, wicked ways that comes off the back of people trying to generate money. So what happens if we do minus that evil, wicked currency out of the world or out of our village? What does a village look like that doesn't have money issues, to where money isn't the motive? What does it look like? One thing about Lil Wayne, when Lil Wayne started to say money is the motive, and when all these rappers started chasing money, and then dating back to like Cash Money Records, and it started becoming about money, money, money. As Cash Money asserted herself, and it became about money and bling and No Limit, came along and started advertising the diamonds and the chains and all that stuff. You've seen the violence pick up, because with money being the motive, then you start seeing people kill for money. You start seeing people rob for money, rape for money. You start seeing people rip people off for money, getting over on people, giving them janky deals. You start hearing about all this stuff going on within the rap game, because money was the motive, and money still is the motive. And my question is, what exactly are we going to do to, address this issue as a culture? Because we're of the mindset that we can't live and we can't make it without money. That's one thing I do respect about Bitcoin and a lot of these other currencies that are being developed out there in the world, is that it's giving you a mindset that you can make it without money. It's putting that idea in your head that you can go establish something else in the world and make it without this white currency that has so much evil and wicked ways behind it. This money here in the United States has destroyed other countries. That's how wicked and evil our currency is. It's destroyed other countries, and you see what it's doing to our own country. And we one thing I appreciate about these other currencies that are being developed is it gives you the idea of branching away from the currency that's going on here in the United States, which is the U.S. dollar. And at the end of the day, I think we really need to start thinking about this, because every agenda that they are using us to carry out, the only reason why we're doing it is because they're giving us money. They're paying us money. They're giving us money. And if we can just understand that money isn't everything, and we can make it and get established in this world minus that money that they're offering us, then maybe we wouldn't carry out their agendas, and maybe white supremacy wouldn't be dominating the world the way they're dominating. I have no issue with white people, but at the end of the day, I do have an issue with the way white people are running the world. And I'm talking about the people who are in position of power, the higher ups, the governors, the presidents, and all these other people in these secret places with these secret titles, kings and queens. I do have an issue the way they run the world, because we do have a problem with equality here in the United States, not just in the United States, throughout the world. Equality is an issue. And at the end of the day, most of these people have it set up so they can, continue to stay in place, and we can never get anywhere as a culture because they don't want, and the reason they got it set up like that is because they always dangle this money in our face. So anytime we get an idea, we get a mission or a goal to go address it or fix this problem, they give us money to go away. We have true black power where we can fix all these problems that the world has presented in our culture, that the world has presented this country, as the world that has presented this world. The black people, we can fix this world. We can make this world better for all, not just for black people. We can make it for all. We are crafty enough. We are clever enough. We have something within our music alone that is universal. Our music, rap music, is a universal sound. There's not that many cultures out there that can say they have a universal sound. Black people, we have a universal sound. Rap music is universal. And people like Beyonce who are doing R&B, universal. We have people in our culture that are universal and got the attention of the whole world, but we have to utilize it for the right message and right ideas and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what I see is white Jewish man, taking advantage of people like Beyonce, Jay-Z, or LeBron James, or even a Michael Jordan, or Oprah Winfrey, or somebody that has these universal plugs. They're taking advantage of them, and they're capitalizing off them, and they're using them to carry out their white supremacist goals and missions and white supremacy ways. And at the end of the day, the black man and the black woman is biting every time because they have the money. The white man has the money to bless them. But what happens if Beyonce or Jay-Z or LeBron or whoever, or Oprah, if we had something we could give them in exchange for their greatness, in exchange for their universal plug, because they are connected to this world. People like Oprah, people like Beyonce, people like Jay-Z, there's so many people, LeBron James, there's so many people, when they speak, the world listens. But when they're speaking, they're not speaking for us. They're speaking for the white man. And at the end of the day, because the white man has something to give them, the white man has something to give them. What do we have as a culture? Can we put a package together so we can give these people who can get the attention of the world? Can we put a package together to where we can give them something to where they can speak up for us and where we can start capitalizing as a culture? And that's why I wanted to make the show about Black Power, because I don't think people understand exactly what exactly Black Power is. I don't think people understand the pieces that we have in place. Like, we truly are powerful as a people. We are flat out powerful. We can get anything accomplished in this world. But at the end of the day, we're not putting nothing together to reward the people who can help us. And unfortunately, the people who are running this world, they got something to offer. They got something to offer to the people in our culture who are powerful and who got a universal voice. And then they offer them that. And then on top of that, when they offer them that, they say exactly what they want them to say and do exactly what they want them to do. And at the end of the day, people need to understand that this is not cool, man. At some point, we got to be the people who change this world. At some point, we got to be the people, the generation that comes together and offers a package. A package. We got so many people in our culture that are universal, y'all. You know, being global, that is a big deal. That's what separates Jordan from a LeBron James. Like, LeBron James is doing great for himself. But one thing about like a Michael Jordan, he's global. He's global. He's an icon because he's global. Like, people in other countries might not be able to speak English, but they can say Michael Jordan. Do you know how deadly that is? Do you know what we can do with that? Do you not understand the Michael Jordan symbol? Just the Jordan sign alone is one of the top symbols in the world, along with McDonald's, Mercedes-Benz, Michael Jordan, Facebook. That emblem alone, that's a black man, y'all. That emblem alone is probably gonna live for the next 400-500 years. We have people that's walking this earth right now that has created something that's going to be iconic, like the pyramids. A lot of people don't understand who and what exactly Michael Jordan is and what make him so great, because this guy, minus what he's done off the court, this guy has a emblem that is going to last for hundreds of years. There's kids right now, you witness it right now, who's never seen him play, know nothing about him, but they got to have his shoes. We have that walking this earth right now. We must capitalize off that. We must come up with something to offer our icons and our legends to help build something for us. We see what they're building for themselves. We see what they're building for the white man. Now we must come up with a package and offer them this package for them to build something for us. We're dominating in damn near every lane in the world. Dominating. We're damn near dominating in every single lane in the world. Every single lane in the world, black people are dominating, but you would never know that. You would never know that. We're the most attractive people in the world, but you would never know that. We're the smartest people in the world. You would never know that. We're the strongest people in the world. You would never know that. because the results of being the strongest and the results of being the most attractive, the results of being the people who got the biggest heart, the results of the people who are the most loving people in the world, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, y'all. The results, it's not looking good because people are stealing our results. They're stealing our results. And at some point, y'all, at some point, we truly got to stand up as a culture. We can't just talk about it no more. We can't just run around yelling out Black Power. We have to exercise Black Power. We have to use Black Power. And we have to get the results of Black Power. Because I got news for you. This right here, this world that we're living in, this is not the results of Black Power. This is the results of Black laziness. This is the results of Black failure. This is the results of Black ignorance, like people being ignorant. This is the results of carrying out white supremacy agendas. This is what the world looks like when you do those things. Black Power doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like this. Black Power doesn't have our Black men and our Black children killing each other. Black Power doesn't have our homes and stuff broken up. No fathers in the home. Black Power does not have the politicians selling out and working for the white man and doing everything that the white man tells them to do. Black Power doesn't have athletes chasing championship rings while the world's in our countries in one of the biggest protests ever. We watched LeBron James go chase a championship while we was out here in the streets of Louisville, Kentucky, while others was out in the streets in their city, while the world was yelling out Breonna Taylor's name. They was chanting her name. We watched LeBron and the rest of the NBA go chase a championship. We watched the NFL Super Bowl still go down. We watched all of this stuff still go down while we was out here, the people, the citizens, fighting for equality, fighting for justice. That's not what Black Power looks like. Can you imagine if a LeBron James or a Dak Prescott, and I know a lot of y'all said Dak Prescott, yeah, Dak Prescott. You don't understand how powerful a Dak Prescott is. He plays for the #1 football franchise in the world. The #1 franchise in the world, I believe, the Dallas Cowboys are. A Black quarterback. Can you imagine if he didn't tell them and he waited to game time and just sets out off the back of Breonna Taylor? Can you imagine if LeBron laced up his shoes, went out there, and started to play for the championship, and as soon as they threw the jump ball up, he took a knee? Can you imagine what would have happened? They would have gave Breonna Taylor justice, but we didn't utilize our Black Power. The white man had something to offer LeBron. The white man has something to offer Dak Prescott. The white man has something to offer all our icons and our legends with the universal voice to keep their damn mouth closed. What are we going to do? Are we going to come up with something to offer as a people and as a culture? Ask yourself that. Think about it. What does Black Power look like? Who is Black Power? Who's benefiting off Black Power? Have you ever even experienced Black Power? Have you ever seen it? Do you know what it looks like? Do you know what it sounds like? Do you know what the results of Black Power look like? I got news for you. There's nobody in this country. There's nobody in this country that can say they know what Black Power looks like. We haven't seen it. We heard about it. We've never witnessed the results of Black Power. We got it. Black Power is real. It's much more than a word that the Black Panthers yell out. It's much more than a word that you hear in songs. It's much more than a word that you hear in poetry and stuff like that. Black Power is real. You possess it. I possess it. If we do what we got to do with our Black Power, we can really change the whole dynamic, not of just this world, but the universe. You must understand this world is a part of the universe. Things that are going on in this world affects what's going on in the universe. You must understand that. That's how powerful Black Power is. We're affecting the universe. But the question is, are we affecting it in a good way? My answer is no. My answer is no. At the end of the day, wake up, people. Realize we are powerful. We are powerful. Super powerful. We're so powerful that they're hiding how powerful we are. They're using us to carry out their agendas. Their power comes from us. Every single war that was ever fought for the United States was won by black people. Every single war. Every single thing that was accomplished in this country that's considered an accomplishment in this country, black people was a part of it. But you would never know that. You would never know that. You would never, ever know that. Wake up. Realize you are powerful. And the goal is not to become people that are running the world and we do to our oppressors what they done to us. That's not black power. That's black evil. That's another reason why we are failing as a culture. Because we have the mentality of a European and you don't even realize it. A lot of us want to get in control and want to get in positions of power so we can treat people like they treated us. That's evil. There's no point of even God allowing us to switch sides, letting us become the people who are ruling the world, and then we start oppressing people. There's no point of that. Why would God do that? It's still evil. The object is to weed evil out of the world, to dilute evil. That's the object. You got these black leaders, they want to be in position of power just so they can treat white people like white people treated us. You got these black people who want to run around calling people pigs and crackers and all that. What is that going to do, y'all? I've been that person. I've been a person that called people names because they called me names. What does that do, y'all? Then you wonder why God is not helping, why God's not fixing nothing. What do you want God to fix evil to be just evil? What's going to happen? What's going to happen if somebody was just beating the brakes off of you and then out of nowhere you got on top of them? You're going to beat the brakes off of them even more. You're going to go even harder, right? You're going to get more than just your lick back, right? I got news for you. That's not fixing nothing. That's just evil, y'all. There's ways to get your lick back, but you don't get your lick back by being just evil. You have to program yourself to override the wicked, evil, corrupt ways that come in your mind. I got stuff all the time that pop in my mind. I always want to get my lick back. I'm a person, I don't believe in getting even. I want to one-up you. But at the end of the day, I also got to program myself to override those thoughts. That's what makes me human. I struggle with the same things y'all struggle with. But what makes me a man is I can make the decision to override those things that I have been naturally programmed to think about, revenge and what I'm going to do back. I got to override it. That's what makes me a man. What makes me a human is that I have the same thoughts that you have. I want to get my lick back. I think about, what if I was running the world? Or what if black people was running the world? How would we treat our oppressors that have treated us the way they've treated us? I think about it. But at the end of the day, I have to override those thoughts of, I'm going to do the same thing they did to us. I'm going to do something worse to them than what they do to us. It's natural to think like that. But at the end of the day, you must understand, just because it's natural, don't make it right. There's a lot of things in this world that are evil, and it's natural. This world that we live in, you see people getting killed every day. People getting killed has become natural, especially in my city. Every time I look up, somebody's getting killed in Louisville. It's natural now. But just because it's natural, that don't make it right. It's still evil. At the end of the day, folks, we got to utilize our black power. We have to start getting more results. The results that we have right now are not good. This is not what black power looks like. It's not. We have too many people in our culture that are carrying out white supremacy agendas. We got too many people in our culture that are of the European mindset. You must think about it like this, folks. Prior to the 50s and the 60s, you didn't hear all this stuff about black people killing each other. They programmed us. It all started with that TV and then that radio. They started to program us. And now they got us doing exactly what they want us to do. Kill each other. Our IQs are so low, but the potential is through the roof. Think about it, folks. This is all a plan. They design things to be exactly the way they are right now. The only way to overcome this situation that we in, we have to come up with a better plan. You cannot beat these people if you don't have a plan. These are some of the most strategic, evilest devils in the world. The only way you can break free is you come up with a plan. This is my plan. I'm bringing my wisdom, my knowledge, and my understanding to YouTube. I'm going to try my best to be super positive. I'm going to try my best to bust the pipes of corruption and tear down the walls of racism and elevate the IQ of my people. I'm going to try my best every single day to give the people what they need to hear, to help balance out the scale when it comes to evil and good. It's lopsided right now. The evil things in this world is outweighing the good. But if you hop on the scale, I hop on the scale, somebody else hop on the scale, you just might see it going like this. You see what Kwame Brown's doing on the internet? Single-handedly moving the scale. Now, I'm on there. Starting to get a little closer, right? What's going to happen when you jump on there? What's going to happen when the people around you jump on there? Your family jumps on there. We can balance this thing out. And eventually, the good in this world can outweigh the evil. But you got to be willing to jump on the scale. You got to be willing to bring something to the table. You got to be willing to dilute these evil, corrupt, wicked things that are in the world. You got to be willing to open your mouth. Tell somebody about a Kendrick Wilson. Tell somebody about a Kwame Brown. You got to be willing to stop carrying out white supremacy agendas. You got to be willing to stop making money the motive. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what is Black Power? I appreciate all y'all coming. I won't keep y'all long. I'm going to keep it real short and simple, and I'm going to leave it right there. Black Power.